Boy, oh boy, another day, another menace. So if you're not aware, everybody's least favorite menace, Johnny Somali, is officially, he went to court, I believe yesterday. And let's just say it was a bit of a disaster for him. It was not looking good for him at all. A lot of stuff happened, but before we even decide to really go into it, we're actually going to recap a lot of the stuff that he did beforehand because let's get everybody up to date on what he's been up to. Now, however, I'm not just going to simply tell you about it. We're going to play a little game, and I call it How Many Years? So please join me into this little game because you know what? I've decided that it's time to be a bit more interactive with the audience. You know what I mean? However, I will put this disclaimer as well. No, I don't know all the actual charges when it comes to this. I would suggest you consult legal people or do your own research. This is mostly meant for fun, so that's about that. And yeah, so let's get started. Welcome to the game show How Many Years? I am your host Ashi, and today we have our featured guest Johnny Somali. And today we're going to be recapping about how many years does he owe for all of the menacing that he's done. So we're going to start with Japan, trespassing, obstruction of business, which adds up to a total of 6 years, Israel, disturbing religious worship, harassment of the sexual nature, and public disorder for a total of 8 years. Now, on to South Korea. Obstruction of business, 5 years. Public indecency, 1 year. Defamation, 2 years. Defamation via print, 3 years. For a total of 11 years. And now, adding it all together, we have 6 plus 11 plus 8, and that adds up to 25 years of prison all around the globe. If I had missed any other charges, please comment down below. But now, on to the video. Thank you for coming.
So I just got out of the Johnny Somali trial, and it's safe to say things went terribly for him. Like, from the start, he walked in, he started making faces at us for being there, and of course he walked in with a MAGA hat on. Immediately, he got in trouble for wearing the hat, he took off the hat, and then he put it back on again and got in trouble for it again. On top of that, he was also carrying a massive water bottle. That's not allowed in court either, he got in trouble for that. And the reason he had that water bottle was presumably because he decided to go live last night at 3 in the morning, and he drank a bunch on a stream, so he was too drunk to make it to court on time. So that water bottle was most likely to sober himself up, because he showed up to court more than an hour late. Then, he had a massive smile on his face until the judge started reading all his charges. So the people who witnessed this, they're believing that he's looking at about 3 to 5 years in prison at least for all of this. And then also they announced a new case. Then finally, on top of all of that, there's new charges being dropped on him as well. So it's safe to say he's going to be here for a long time, and he's not going to have a good time here. And the most recent charge might be the worst charge yet, but I have a full video talking about a recap there, and I'm making a longer video that I'll be dropping in the next couple of days, but you can push it right here to see the next recap.
So that was the YouTuber Atozi. So he actually went to South Korea to go see the Johnny Somali trial along with another YouTuber by the name of Legal Mindset. And Legal Mindset has actually been covering this for a long time, like very extensively. I highly recommend to go check him out after you watch this video because he really breaks down every little aspect in terms of what's been going on with Johnny Somali, and he also covers other people as well, but mostly the legal side of stuff, so I highly recommend to go check him out. I will say though, flying to South Korea to go see somebody's downfall has to be like a new level of hatred. Like, please someone explain to me how you have so much hatred that you just gotta fly to the country. Now of course, this is Johnny Somali we're talking about here, so it's not like somebody who is a saint here. Guy has been causing all kinds of ruckus in terms of, everything. Like, he's been doing it since he went to Japan. He's been doing it in other countries. Actually, now that I mentioned it in the game show, I actually missed this, but he also was in Thailand causing a muck, too. I completely forgot about that. So, yeah, he's kind of been the worldwide menace. And it's kind of crazy because literally everybody has united against one person saying, yeah, no, that's that. And I don't know what this entails in the future. I feel like perhaps we could see something where when it comes to live streaming you need some more lines of permits, because you have to understand that in these countries as well, they don't play with a lot of different stuff, so you can imagine. But anyways, I do want to point you to a couple of tweets from Legal Minds that really kind of detail what happened. So here we have the first one, which says Ramsey's first day of trial just concluded. He was 1 hour late and came in with his roommate Hank. Both Ramsey's lawyer and Ramsey had no idea about the new charges, so they pushed the next trial date for 3 weeks from today, April 9th. Johnny pled guilty to all the other charges. Details on charges below. So Ramsey was also clearly wearing Hank's white suit, which was widely oversized, but had an ebony ivory vibe going on with Hank's black suit. He was also told twice to take off his MAGA hat. Reminder, Ramsey faces a total of 4 charges: 2 counts of obstruction of businesses, 2 violations of Minor Crimes Act. Today he pled guilty to 1 count of obstruction, convenience store, and 2 counts of the minor crimes, dead fish harassment and disrupting subway bus. So yeah, that's basically what the whole, what happened here. But the part that we kind of miss is the fact that he has another trial on the other side of Korea, not North Korea, but in another part. So he has 3 weeks to go prepare himself. So you can imagine that he's kind of cooked. He's gonna be cooked. And just to really paint how bad it is for this guy, he's not only gonna be in prison. Okay, he's gonna be in prison where he was talking he was vibing up with North Korea, and South Korea takes that very seriously. Literally, that whole country knows how to fight because their neighbor could go off the deep end at any time. So not only that, but he's hated by everybody. Like, mind you, Koreans were literally hunting him not that long ago and putting up bounties for him. So he's gonna be in prison for about 3 to 5 years. That's quite a bit. But just to show you how unintelligent he is, I'm actually going to give you some clips from a live stream he did before he went to court. Because remember, he was an hour late, and even what Atozi just said, he was also probably hungover. So I actually found some of those clips. So let's take a look, shall we? We're gonna have some fun with this one.
I'm giving y'all the first viral moment tonight. You think this shit is a fucking game, nigga? Bro, I got Korean investigation documents. These niggas been interrogating me for months, for days, nigga. These niggas been on my ass. I'm telling you, smelly you. Y'all niggas gonna not believe this shit. I hope some of y'all niggas got Google Translate, cause I do, nigga. They writing this shit in Gook language. I don't even know how to understand it.
As you can see here, and I believe those 2 clips are actually kind of separate, because the first one was he literally was drunk on a live stream before he went into court, like, the peak of intelligence that he is. And he also had something where, literally because he was, having fun with, North Korea saying, Kim Jong-un's my guy, which, by the way, is kind of crazy when he's sporting a haircut like that, but I digress. Yeah. So, as you can see, South Korea saw that and like, yeah, we're probably going to charge you because our neighbor is kind of nuts. So, yeah, that's where we are now. And so, something I forgot to actually mention is that I believe, now I might have to correct myself on this later, but essentially, he's broke because the government's basically not going to be paying for him to be in prison. So they're literally dragging out his sentence like as long as possible because it's going to take him so long to it's going to take him so long to go to trial. So 3 weeks is a pretty long time. And sometimes, like, even if I'm just drawing parallels here, sometimes like trials take forever to get going and getting a verdict. So basically he has to live stream to make money to pay for his rent. So he's basically, so even say in some ideal world, or not ideal, say worst timeline possible, he doesn't ever go to prison. He's in a prison in Korea because he can't leave, and he has to pay for his rent while he's there, while everybody hates him. So I'll put that in perspective. But anyways, he actually had another live stream, believe it or not, that happened after the trial, and all right. When I say this one's going to be tough for you guys to watch, I mean, it's going to be tough in the sense that this guy, if you thought he couldn't get any worse, and believe me, I thought he couldn't do it, but you didn't think he'd get worse. He gets worse, believe it or not. So let's play the clip because it's pretty bad.
they're claiming that like I came in and I was fucking blindsided by the fact that I had a new charge and motherfuckers was like sitting in the wrong place and niggas was nervous. This shit was a breeze. And the only reason I'm ready to start going live again, because honestly I have no fear. Like that's really, these people are clout chasing off my name so badly. Because these niggas are from Pakistan saying I arrived late and hungover. Okay, they're not lying about that part. I'll give you that. I was late to the court by like an hour. I was hungover. I'm gonna be honest about that. But it wasn't really that big of a deal. It wasn't really that big of a deal. You know, I showed up drunk. I showed up happy. Like the charges that they have me put on, the charges that they have me for are such minor, minuscule charges. It's fucking obstruction of, like, bro, spilling a cup of noodles, carrying a fucking fish. Refresh. Let me know if I'm live, guys. I don't know if I'm live. Check if I'm live. But they got me for like spilling a cup of noodles. They got me for carrying a fucking stinky fucking fish. They got me for some fucking bullshit, bro. Like this shit is, you can't go to jail for that in any fucking country. But the reason I've been quiet is I didn't want to really feed the trolls. I didn't really want to feed like this energy of these motherfuckers just lying and making all this bullshit about me. I know for a fact I'm not gonna go to jail. Not one day in jail, but I have the footage of me and Hank leaving the court laughing our asses off. Like, bro, we're not taking this shit serious.
Whew, okay, if you made it to that whole clip, I sincerely apologize. I've had to watch that clip twice to understand what's happening. So basically, he admitted to doing everything that he did because I mean it's live, and also he made it sound like he spilled his noodle, but he literally was tossing it at people, and he was harassing people with dead fish. So it's insane where he gets this from. Woo, woo. But yeah, so essentially what this situation boils down to is a little concept I call consequences have actions, or as the youths call it, F around and find out. That is what we're dealing with here. He wanted to mess with Korea, and I believe I actually said it in a previous video too, but like if he keeps testing these systems, like listen, East Asia and some of these countries do not play. I mean, imagine he was in like the Middle East. I can imagine. Bro, they're even crazier with some of their laws. So you can imagine. And by the way, this is also South Korea, where if you get caught using drugs, literally, they are wild with that stuff. So I'm just, what we're seeing here is the epitome of intelligence. And the best part about this whole thing is that nobody has any sympathy for Johnny, because he literally said he didn't care. He said he was, he was going to keep doing it. He wanted to keep making money. He didn't care. And guess what? Now he's losing money for doing it. So, what does this mean exactly? Hopefully, other nuisance streamers take notes, because some of these countries aren't going to mess with you. Duh. It just makes sense. But it's just funny to me that he really said, oh man, he really thought he was going to get out of this. But no, I believe that they took his passport, so he's basically paying to stay in Korea so that he eventually goes to jail. And, maybe prison will make him a changed man, but I don't know. When I see behavior done over and over again, especially with how many times I've covered this idiot, and, oh my god, I just remembered, he apologized, and he's still trying to pretend like he's in the right. And even, like, the worst part really about it that I didn't really go over is just that you have people really feeding him, because I don't know if you saw in one of the early clips, but you saw his live chat going, be like, down with Korea or something like that. It's like, where do you think people get inspiration from? Like, there's a market, people just provide. So there's people who want to watch this stuff. So naturally, that's what you're going to get. So, you see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going? So it's just funny to take note of. But anyways, that's basically the big update with Johnny Somali. So he pled guilty to some of his charges, and here we are now. He's getting consequences for his actions, and he also has a different charge that he didn't even know about, and his lawyer didn't know about, which makes it even worse for him. And then he has another trial in 3 weeks. So, things ain't looking good for good old Johnny. But anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to give an update to that situation, because I believe that this case is really important, because it's going to set a precedent for people to stop being nuisances in other countries. Hopefully. I mean, Japan brought the hammer on him, but they said, yo, get him out of here. Korea's like, all right, bet. We gonna take him. And so, yeah. I don't know how Korean prison is. I believe I looked a little bit into it the last time, but it's not gonna be looking good for him. So, who knows? Get into the cabbage patches, boys, because he's gonna be there for a while. Coleslawing it up. But anyways, if you enjoyed this little update, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. But that's it for today. So, ciao.